Hey everybody, I wanted to make a quick video on explaining what the process is to donate stem cells here in Canada. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that through One Match a few years ago. And yeah, a lot of people have asked me what the process is, and I've found that a lot of people are shocked at how easy it is. So I wanted to make that information a little bit more available and hopefully convince even just one person to sign up on the registry because it can make a difference, right? So yeah, a couple years ago, I was donating blood, and at the Canadian Blood Services, they have these pamphlets about donating stem cells, and I think it briefly talks about the process and how easy it is and all that sort of stuff. And so I did it, and I took it home, and basically you take a cotton swab and you swab four corners of your cheek, and you mail that away, and then you're on the registry. That part super simple. And then eventually, if you're a match for somebody or a potential match, they call you and ask if you want to donate. And that's what happened to me only a couple months after I signed up on the registry, which I found out afterwards is really short. Some people go on the registry and never have a chance to donate. So I was very fortunate to have that happen and have that happen so quickly. And basically, I got blood work done to see just how good of a match I was. And I went from a potential match to the best possible match for that individual. And I got more blood work done to make sure my blood was free of any diseases or anything like that. And then, yeah, from there, you get a physical, and they basically check you over. And if you have good enough veins, you do the method that most people do. I think it's something like 85% of people. And I'll explain that one in a bit. But the other way to do it is if you don't have good enough veins, or you're not good with needles, I guess, they'll put you under for a day, like under anesthetic, and they take bone marrow directly from your hip, and then you're done. That's it. I can't really speak towards how, like, the discomfort level or anything like that, because that's not the method that I did. But like I said, the method that most people do is they give you these injections, or a prescription for injections, for 5 days. If you want to look it up, it's called GCSF. And basically, the injection makes your body produce higher levels of bone marrow, and then that pushes out stem cells into your bloodstream, so they're easier to collect. So you do that for 5 days, and at the end of the 5th day, the next day, you go into the hospital, they hook you up to a machine, and they put a needle in one arm to take the blood out. The machine filters the blood, separates the stem cells, and then gives you your blood back in your other arm. You do that for about 6 to 8 hours, and then you're done. Like, that's it. Your donation is done. On some cases, you have to come back a second day for an extra hour or two if they didn't get enough stem cells the first day. That wasn't the case for me. They were able to get it out all in one day for me. And they said something like 80% of people are done in the one day, and that's it. And yeah, it was painless and easy. The injections do have side effects for the 5 days that you have them. Because your body's producing more bone marrow, you will feel bone pain and flu-like symptoms. So I didn't know what bone pain consisted of, but the best way to describe it now that I've had it, was it's like you've been like lifting weights or working out at the gym like all day. Like from the moment you wake up, you just feel like fatigued, and your body feels like you've like been through a lot. And then flu-like symptoms are, just like how they sound. It sounds like you have a flu without actually having the flu. So those two combined are tough, but if you want to put it into perspective, like, you go through that sort of stuff for a couple of days, and then you have the opportunity to save somebody's life. So that's pretty incredible. And I'm a baby when it comes to the flu, but obviously use that knowledge to motivate yourself and get through it. Also, they don't last the whole 5 days. It sort of builds up. When you start the injections on day one, you don't feel anything right away, and it's not until like a day or two later that you start to feel it. And it's, for me anyways, it was a gradual onset, and then after the donation, like a day or two after, I felt just fine. So yeah, I didn't have to take any time off work. At the time, I was just working freelance, so I didn't have like a 9 to 5, so it was really easy to go into and out of the hospital. Also, when you go in for the injections or any sort of blood work or anything like that, any snacks you get, or any bus fare or taxi or anything like that, you save the receipts, and you'll be reimbursed by One Match. So it's no expenses out of your pocket at all, which is really cool. And yeah, I would recommend it to anybody. Like I said, super simple process, and surprisingly simpler than I think a lot of people anticipate. So sign up today, and hopefully, like me, you can save someone's life. It's really cool to be able to say that.